guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I want to show you my version of some really fantastic kofta patties, which are kind of like really lovely spiced, I'm going to call them burger patties, but they're really not. They're just these really lovely spiced patties that I'm going to serve over a garlic tahini sauce, but you can serve them with whatever your heart desires. Keep in mind, this is just my take on the recipe. It's not by no means original or authentic, but it is delicious. Traditionally, koftas are made like on a skewer on the grill, but I'm going to make these in patty size. I just think they're easier to eat. I'm going to make them indoor because it's 0 degrees outside and I'm not going out there to battle the grill in this cold, but I find that making them indoor in a skillet works just as nicely. So don't panic if you are in the same weather conditions as I am, because these will do the trick on the skillet and it's fantastic. Let me run you through the list of ingredients because it's really not that big, but it's all the right ones. You could use lamb or beef. I'm using minced beef, ground beef. You'll need parsley, fresh mint. I've got a little red onion and a few garlic cloves right under there. I've got some cumin seeds and coriander seeds. I also have some garam masala, which is a lovely spice blend, and you're going to need some salt. Now these are the ingredients to make the patties. Then I'll show you how I like to make my tahini sauce in just a bit, and then I'll show you how I serve them, obviously. First things first, I'm going to toast my whole seeds. So I love when you're working with recipes where spice are such a big part of the recipe. As much as I can, I like to use whole cumin and coriander seeds and then powder them myself, because I just don't think that you get the same amount of note and flavor and scent out of just already ground. So, and since I want the spices here are so important, I want just the best stuff. So in a small skillet, I'm going to add my cumin seeds and my coriander seeds, and I'm just going to lightly toast them until they start to become fragrant. This only takes a couple seconds, so keep your eye on it. I can really smell them and they're starting to slightly get ready to pop, so I'm just gonna, so you can see the smoke. I'm gonna get those out into my mortar and pestle and I'm going to just grind them until they're just about pulverized. And so, oh, and the smell, the scent of this is just absolutely incredible. I'm just going to do this for about a second or so, and then right towards the very end, when this is just about where I want it, I'm going to add the garam masala, which I'm going to do right now, because the heat, the residual heat from the spices kind of wake up the garam masala as well. But garam masala is just a blend of spices, and so all together it makes for an unbeatable combination. This looks good, and I'm just going to take it. And this weighs just about as much as I do, I think. It's so heavy. Get everything out of there. I got my little spatula here. I want all of my spices out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set that aside, because in my little mini chopper here, I'm going to add the herbs, the onion, and the garlic, and I'm going to puree this pretty much. I want this really finely chopped. So I'm going to add it all in and then chop it really nicely. Okay, my herb mixture is in there. Now I just want to hit it with a good pinch of salt, a nice healthy pinch of salt. And now you just use your hands and you mix everything together. You just want to make sure that you're distributing those spices and the herb mixture really well, thoroughly in your ground beef or ground lamb. And I have to tell you, it does work really good with chicken or turkey as well. If you're looking for, if you're looking to make this with like white meat, that works really well. But I have to say, my favorite is with beef. I love it with beef because it makes all of the spices and the herbs and everything really sing, because I sometimes feel like lamb can take a little bit too much center stage. It can, it can take too much of the flavor, but this is perfect. All right, I just formed my patties and I'm just forming my last one. And I just kind of like to pull it together into like a meatball really lightly. I don't like to compact it too much. And then you just flatten it to make a little patty. I make them a little bit bigger to start off with, because once you put them in the skillet, they shrink up a little bit, so don't panic. Now I'm going to cover these with some plastic wrap, pop them into the fridge for about half an hour. So I just want those flavors to relax and for those herbs and spices to really permeate the beef. And then when I get back, I'm going to show you how I like to serve them. We're going to fry them up. We're going to cook them. It's going to be delicious. But first, I'm going to wash up. My patties were in the fridge for about a half an hour. I let them come to room temperature for about 5 minutes or so. Now I've got a large skillet with a little olive oil. over about medium-high heat. I like to use a non-stick skillet here because I just like the fact that nothing sticks, but you can use a cast iron if you like. And my skillet, as you can see, is nice and big, so I can fry all of them up, or I can sear all of them up at the same time. But if you're using a smaller skillet, then do this in batches so that you don't overcrowd your pan and then your patties steam instead of sizzle. We don't want that. We want a sizzle. Okay, so those only need about, I would say, 2.5 minutes or so on each side. I'm just going to wash my hands and then we'll make our tahini sauce. All right, to make the tahini sauce, it's really simple. You need tahini, which is like a sesame seed paste. You're going to add that right to your food processor. You can also use an immersion blender for this if you like. Then I'm going to add a couple of cloves of garlic, the squeeze of half of a lemon. You can even use a whole lemon if you want to, but I think half a lemon works perfectly. And then you need a drizzle of olive oil, good quality olive oil. You need a small pinch of salt. I'm using a spoon because I'm afraid to use my right hand. And then you need about the same amount of water to your tahini if you want a really runny sauce. So I'm just going to add a couple tablespoons of water for now, and then I'm going to just start blending it. And if I feel like it needs more, I'll just continue to add more. But I just wanted this to be a really nice, thick sauce, not too runny. My patties are perfectly cooked. They're really nice and juicy on the inside, but they're perfectly seared on the outside. I've got my sauce ready to go, and then I've got like my toppings. So you can serve these as is with some rice on the side if you want to, or you can serve them on a salad. I like to do kind of a salad and then some pita on the side as well for those who want to just make a nice wrap. So what I have here are some tomatoes and mint with a little bit of olive oil, lemon juice, and salt. And then I've got some shredded lettuce, some cucumbers, and some red onion, and then some warm pitas. So do this however you like, but here's what I like to do. You take some of the sauce, right? Just a little bit of it. Not all of it because it's quite a bit. You make kind of a bed, right? I love food that just feels, I love plating that just feels really abundant and full and happy and yummy. So that's how I like to do things. And then you just take your really juicy patties, which they smell incredible, right? You take your patties, and then I just take a little bit of this mint salad, this mint and tomatoes. I don't take the juice from the bottom just because I don't want it to make everything really runny. But look at that. I mean, it's just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And then I like to take a little bit of red onion and sprinkle that on top. And then you can serve this however your heart desires, as I said. But for now, I'm just kind of dig into one so that you can see what the inside looks like. I'll just take the one that's closest to me. How about that? Oh, it's perfectly cooked. It's nice and juicy. It's just on the verge of being about medium. They're even more delicious. This, a little salad, a few onions, piece of cucumber, and then you just take this baby, you pop that right into the center. And pardon me, but I have to do this. It's kind of like my job to make sure it's all just harmoniously perfect together. No words needed. Go to LauraInTheKitchen.com, get the recipe because you want this piece of heaven in your mouth this weekend.